Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Paul Cervizzi Show. My name is Paul Cervizzi, and I mentioned earlier on a prior cast the purpose of what we're really trying to achieve with this podcast, and that is to bring the black belt qualities, the qualities that one would to have and to work with in achieving a black belt status, to bring those qualities towards business, in life, and in other areas. So, principles and concepts like perseverance, like being able to adapt, modify, change in any given environment, the ability to get up when we fall down, to show up. 90% of what we do is showing up, right? So all of the trials and tribulations of a black belt or a martial artist in achieving that status, how it translates and equates into everyday life. I am honored today to introduce Donald Wong, and quite a varied background. And I've known him for many years now and had the honor to be actually dear friends with him. Welcome, Donald.
Thank you very much. And it's an honor to be here among all the people in the audience and with you.
Thank you.
You're so kind to invite me.
Oh, thank you. My pleasure. So, oh, what a background you have. I don't know if I've ever met anybody that has such a diverse and varied background. And you don't have to be a martial artist to be on this show, but it just so happens that you are a long time martial artist. I've had the honor of being your student for quite some time myself. So, but let's just talk a little bit about the beginnings of Donald Wong. So, tell us a little bit about where you grew up and, a little bit about those earlier years.
Okay. Um, my grandparents started a restaurant, and it's named the Kowloon Restaurant.
Kowloon. Everybody knows the Kowloon.
And it's been open for 75 years.
Congratulations.
3 generations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I started there. My parents took it over after my grandparents
So your
Now-
grandparents,
started.
did they come over from
China. Yes.
China? What part of China?
Canton.
Canton, the Canton region?
Yes.
Okay. Were you born in China or were you born here?
I was born here.
Born here. Okay. So your grandparents came over, and wow, the Kowloon is, everybody knows the Kowloon, and everybody has so many different memories of the Kowloon. And to this day, it's iconic, iconic. So your grandparents came over, and then your parents took
They-
the restaurant. Was it an existing restaurant, or what was there before? Like, it wasn't the Kowloon, was it?
No. In the beginning, it was an ice cream parlor.
Really?
Yes.
Same location.
Same location, same front doors on the highway side. Then my grandparents bought it over and made it into a Chinese restaurant. It's
Was it called the Kowloon when they,
It was called the Mandarin House.
the Mandarin House? Okay,
Yes.
yes, I did hear about that.
Yes.
Yeah. So an ice cream parlor,
Yes.
and then they turned it into
A Chinese
Chinese restaurant. It was called the Mandarin. So the part where the takeout is now,
Yes.
that was the only structure.
Yes. It
Oh.
sat maybe 25 to 30 people at the time.
Phew. How many, if I may ask, how many people does the restaurant hold now?
We now can seat
Concede
1,200 people.
1,200 people. Absolutely amazing. And what about staff? How many roughly staff?
Approximately 350.
Whoa, okay. All right. So they had a small Mandarin house.
Yes.
And then what happened?
And then when they were ready to retire and they were going to sell the restaurant, my mother and father, who are also born in the U.S., bought it over from my grandparents.
Grandparents. Roughly when was that?
1950.
1950.
Yes.
Wow. Now, recently we saw a short time ago the passing of your mom, and it's all, doesn't matter what age we are. It's always so difficult when we lose a parent. And I'm awfully sorry for that. And I know that you have other family members who have taken over and done the day-to-day operations. How does that look? Is it you and a couple of your brothers?
Yes, I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters, and they all work at the restaurant.
They all work at the restaurant.
Yes.
And you at one time, right? You worked at the
Yes.
restaurant before
But then once I got into politics, I moved away from it, and
and full-time representative, right?
yes, and
All right,
help.
so God, I'm sorry.
I do help them once in a while.
Yeah, okay. So I just find this so fascinating. So because this restaurant is so iconic in my mind. So to everybody knows, never mind a 1,200 seating establishment with different restaurants within the restaurant because you serve different types of food, right?
Yes.
Um, Having over 300 employees and being open, I think you open every day,
Yes.
closed any day.
We just started closing on certain days,
Yeah.
and before my parents left, we were open every single day.
Uh, So, like I said, with the enormity of that type of business, um, uh, people that operate small businesses have a tough time. So to take that on and to make that work and be so successful, that is absolutely amazing. May I ask you before we move on, what do you think? So I talked about a little bit about martial arts and some of the qualities and some of the great attributes that we learn from the arts. And you've been doing it, what, 60 plus years? How long?
I started in 1965.
1965. And I started, roughly about 11 years later. So we can both relate to what the benefits are. And a goal that I really have, and you and I have talked about this numerous times, being a teacher and a mentor and a dear friend of mine, of my vision of getting the masses to realize what the benefits of martial arts can be, not only to kids, to teenagers, adults, to seniors, but people from all walks of life, whether they have an emotional or a physical malady, it doesn't matter. And my goal is through this podcast and having people on like you that have been successful in so many areas, is to really dive deep into those benefits. And if I were to ask you, how does a restaurant of that magnitude, what qualities do you think that your grandparents and your mom and dad and your brothers and sisters have to make this like what is it? Like if you were to name a few, like what is it that makes it? Like what do you got to do to make a Kowloon last 75 years?
From my parents, we learned to always do more than what is expected of you,
Mm.
and don't take anyone for granted, from the waiter to the dishwasher.
So we would that's important. And we were talking about that earlier when we did when we had a meeting is how important people are. All people. It doesn't matter what your position is. You brought up about I mean you were talking about just like you said whether it be the waiters or whatever and I brought up what happened how important people that collect our trash are, right? So valuing humans because we never know we're all human at the end of the
Yes,
day. So okay, so respecting one another,
yes,
doing more than
was expected
what's
of you.
expected of us.
And what my parents did is had us work in every single job, from dishwasher to busboy to helping the chefs and waiting on tables.
So basically it was cross training and all different things. And I know as a martial artist, your background is very diverse. Can you tell us a little bit about just a synopsis, I guess, and we'll go into other stories of his. What disciplines have you studied, and continue or not continue to practice?
Okay. I started the martial art in 1965.
Hmm.
Um, I learned Bap Me, which is white eyebrow.
That's a kung fu style, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
And then I also learned Chuklum Tonglong, which is a bamboo forest praying mantis,
Praying mantis, another
kung fu
kung fu
style.
style.
I learned a little of Chile foot, which is Chinese, and then I learned Yichuan.
Each one, yeah.
That's an energy standing meditation, and it was quite interesting because in '65 I started in Boston, Chinatown.
In
Uh,
Boston?
Yes,
Yep.
I belonged to a club called the Hong Chen,
Okay.
which is the youth group of the Chinese Masonic. When I graduated high school, I traveled 3 years to Taiwan to look for a monk that I heard about that was
How
supposed to
old were you when you went to Taiwan?
just
Roughly
just around 20.
20 years old.
Yes.
You just left, went.
Um, my parents took me over,
Okay.
and I liked it, and I stayed for 3 years. Um, and I was looking for this one monk that's I heard so much about.
That you wanted to learn from.
Yes, because he taught in New York before, and then he went back to Taiwan.
What did you do, if you don't mind my asking? What did you do while you were in Taiwan for 3 years? That must have been an experience in and of itself.
Uh,
What did you go to school? Did you do martial arts? What did you do?
yes, I took uh, 3 years in a Taiwan
Oh,
university,
really?
which was called Taiwan Normal University, Shifandashia, and I
What did you
was
study there?
Mandarin.
Mandarin. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
But while I was there, I traveled all over Asia trying to look at other type of martial art.
So
And
again, that cross training becomes key, just like the cross training of the staff
yes,
at Kowloon.
and you know, and it's also I looked at religion
Okay.
because I was born a Methodist,
Okay.
and then once I got over there, I saw Buddhism, Taoism, and Catholic, and I said, you know what? They're all the same. They have a
Hierarchy.
hierarchy, and you know, and I looked at it and I said, wait a minute, all the major people in the different religion disappear for a couple of years, and I wondered, in my mind, I wondered, did all go to a board meeting
Yeah.
and say, this is what we're going to teach,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but everything's the same. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, and
The principles are
yes,
relatively same. They may call it different or do different. And you and I have had endless conversation about martial arts, right? So you're naming now different religions and different martial arts and different people. And at the end of the day, it's, if it's not the same, it is very similar. Maybe
yes,
the principles behind it are a little
yes,
different, but there's just so many ways in martial arts language that we can punch, we can kick, we can block.
yes,
It does, we put our own little flavor on it,
yes,
right? And that's amazing because I'm a huge advocate for knowledge, and I know you are also. And I've always said knowledge is power. The more we know, the more we immerse ourselves, whether it be in different religions, different arts, different areas of life with different people, it makes us better people and makes us stronger people and more knowledgeable, right?
yes. And
What happened if okay, so how did the 3 years end? Like, how'd you get back?
I couldn't find
Couldn't find the monk.
the monk, Grandmaster Lemsan. So I was there for 3 years, and what I got out of it is a wife. I got married over there.
You met your wife there.
Yes, and we came back after 3 years being together over there, and I came back to Boston, and I belong to the Chinese Masonic,
Okay.
and the youth group is Wuxin or Gung Ho Club, and I had connections in New York also. So when I came back, I found out the monk or Lam San,
The one you were looking
Grandmaster,
for, you went
yes,
to Taiwan for.
he immigrated to New York.
Oh, so you spent 3 years in Taiwan. You
Yes,
obviously went to school and you met your wife, but you learned that he was back in the US.
yes. So,
Interesting.
and he was teaching the Masonic in New York. So I got a letter of introduction from Boston Masonic to the New York Masonic, and
Okay.
that's when I started learning from him.
So then he took you on as a student
Yes, for
and
10 years,
for 10 years.
and
And how often did you go?
every,
Because Boston and New York, although it's not around the world, it's not like you can get up and go and you'll be there in an
yes,
hour.
we went on Sundays. I took my wife and kids. Of course, when I went over there, I would take my wife, my teacher, and the kids out to eat. And in Chinatown, I would buy little toys for my kids. I
New
had
York,
three.
Chinatown. So
Yes,
wait a minute. How often did you go? Every Sunday?
almost every Sunday. Yes,
Almost every Sunday to New York for 10 years
yes,
and you brought your wife and kids along and you
yes,
made it. And did you come back the same day?
yes,
Oh, that's commitment.
yes,
That's dedication. Again, those are qualities that that's what comes from our training. That's the knowledge that comes from our training, that commitment, that dedication, that admiration of hierarchy that you mentioned, even in regards to religion. That's phenomenal. And what did you study with him?
Juk Lam Tong Long, bamboo forest praying mantis. But I also went with two of my friends that were part of Hong Chen, Sifu Larry Wong
Who I know is a phenomenal martial artist, but a beautiful person.
and Sifu Wing Chen.
So the three of you would go?
Yes.
So you're using the title now, Sifu. What is actually? Can you explain to us a little bit about, because in martial arts is as varied as the types of food that we eat, right? So for those out there who may not know, what does Sifu mean?
Sifu is teacher
Is teacher,
or someone who does something very good. You
and
know,
is it Chinese origin?
yes,
Japanese, Chinese.
Chinese. And you know what? It doesn't always have to be martial art.
Okay, yeah. So
If you're
tell us about that.
if you're a good cook, someone might say Sifu so and so as being a great cook.
So it's kind of like a term of endearment. So like we use the title sensei and a lot of times in traditional karate systems, and that is one who has come before, meaning has more knowledge than you do, right?
Yes.
So that's similar. So see, I noticed that a lot of Kempo people that have cross trained in Kung Fu now are called Sifu. So that's very interesting. Okay, so you get back, you go to New York for 10 years. How old are we now? Like 30s, mid 30s?
No, no, no.
No.
I was in my 20s.
So you went in your 20s, but you went for 10 years,
Yes.
right? And then why did you stop going?
He passed
He
away.
passed away.
Yes. And all the teachers, I think most of the people have, I have like five teachers that I have gone through. And all the teacher, we treat them like a second father.
It's family, right? That's
Yes.
the community we build in the arts.
Yes. And it's, you know, I look at all the arts out there. I said, you know what? These arts would not have lasted this long if they didn't have at least one thing that's outstanding about that system.
Yeah, and we'll go back like we started the show on, said the most important thing is people, right? So you can love the martial arts or anything. You can be excellent at your craft. But at the end of the day, like you're referring to your teacher as a second father, or I'm calling it I always use the word my martial arts family, and you and I refer to each other in that kind of context. That's what the martial arts does, and that's another thing that I want to make sure gets out to people is you create such a strong bond with whether it be the teacher, your fellow students, doesn't have to be everybody,
Yes.
but there's always a group of people that you can rely on and call upon, right? Okay, so that's a little snippet, and I know you got a lot more, and we'll have you back on another show to talk about more about the martial arts specifically. What happened? How long did you work at the restaurant?
I'm still part time there,
Right,
but as a child, I in my teens, I was working there
you
five
started in your
days.
teens.
Yes. and maybe a little earlier because, that's why my parents had 6 kids, cheap labor.
Yeah, true, right? And you can't say no.
No.
You can't say no. All right, so you worked at the very like we talked about how iconic Kowloon is, and obviously, it's made up of many factors, but your grandparents, your parents, and you and your siblings obviously are and were the driving force of its success. And how did you get into politics?
Well, when I got married, I moved to I bought a house in Saugus and close to the restaurant.
Yeah,
And at the time, my wife didn't speak a word of English.
really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I want to be near her so that if she needed anything, I can go right over the house. And it, it was good. My kids were born in Saugus.
How many children do you have?
I have 3, 2 boys and 1 girl.
Excellent.
And
And
they're all,
grandchildren.
yes, I have 7 grandchildren, um, 1 boy and 6 girls.
Yep.
The boy was born with my son,
Okay.
so the family name goes on. In
Ah, gotcha.
in the Asian community, it's very important to have a son with the name so that the family name will go on.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So you've got um a tight knit, would you say you're close with the family? Or
Yes, yes.
yeah, tight knit, close family. All right. So you moved to Saugus. You want to be close to the restaurant. Mentioned about your wife and everything. Um, and so we've got martial art artist. We've got um strong restaurant ties, hard work, all that. Now, where does the politics fit in? How do you
Okay. Um, Saugus has the smallest elected town meeting in the Commonwealth,
really?
50 elected members. So I ran for town meeting and got in, and we start working on things on how to up the quality of life in Saugus.
Are you just a rep in Saugus, or do you have other
Oh,
precincts and areas?
yes. Yeah. First, I was a
Oh,
town meeting
I'm
member.
sorry. Yeah, I'm jumping the gun.
Yes.
So town meeting is your general,
Just Saugus.
just
Yes.
Saugus. Okay. And how long were you a town meeting member?
2 terms.
Okay.
And then I ran for selectman.
For the
Oh,
board.
yes.
Okay. How
And
many
5 board members.
5 board members?
Yes. And over there, they said whoever gets the most vote will be chairman. So I got the most vote my first term.
Congratulations. That's
And
awesome.
I didn't know how to run it. And I said, yeah. I said, can I give it away? And everyone said, no.
Oh, you didn't want to accept the position.
Y- I wanted to be a selectman, but not the chair because I didn't know how it was run.
Ah, so the select person that got the most votes
Becomes
automatically becomes the chairman.
yes.
And then you said, "What? I want to give it up, or I want to
Yeah,
give it to
yeah,
someone else."
yes.
Nobody wanted to take it
Uh, they wouldn't take it because they said we gotta go with
with the rules and the bylaws, or
yes.
however that goes. So where are we talking? Well, like what years? Like is this
Uh, I would say
beginning of 2000s,
yes, beginning of
early 2000?
yes,
Okay,
mid 2000.
so town meeting,
Selectman chair
selectman chair,
for 2
how
terms.
2 terms,
Yes,
and how many
2
ye
years each
2
term.
years per term, so that's another 4 years,
Yes,
and the town meeting was 4 years, right?
yes,
So now we're talking 8 years.
yes.
Okay.
And then in 2010, they asked me to run for state rep. I ran in 2010, and I was fortunate enough to become the state rep for Lynn, Saugus, and Wakefield.
So, first of all, congratulations. You've been a state rep since 2010.
Elected
Elected
2010,
10,
started 2011.
2011. So, all of Saugus, and is there parts of Lynn and parts of
Okay.
How
Uh,
does that work?
um, I um, I represent 80% of Saugus,
Okay.
half of Wakefield,
Half of Wakefield.
and just a small piece of Lynn.
Wow. So you've got 3 communities in a big city of Lynn, even if it's a small section.
Yes.
So, what would you say obviously you enjoy what you do as a state rep. I see that you're everywhere and have more energy than anyone that I've ever seen. I see your posts all over on social media. You're visiting different people, you're visiting different organizations, you're helping people, you're doing such amazing, amazing things. And everybody knows that. Nobody can question that. What drives you? What drives Donald Wong to be that public servant? Like what drives you?
I think it really comes from my parents. And first, working at the restaurant, it's customer service.
Okay.
And I,
Service first, right? And
yes,
overserve, not so
yes,
much the
do
food, but
more than what is expected of you.
do more than what's expected.
And when I was elected to be a state rep, I did the same thing. I went in and I said, I'm going to make friends with as many people as I can. I don't care what party you are.
Right.
We're going to try to make our community.
So it's about the community. It's not so much like my belief is A, my belief is B. Yeah, you're going to have this
Yes.
and arguing and debating and all that. That's healthy. That's good, right?
Yes.
That's checks and balances
And compromise.
in compromise.
Yes. Because I see a difference between the federal congressmen and senators and the state.
You see a difference
Yes.
in as far as what the operation like of what? What do you mean?
Of networking.
Okay.
Because up in the federal Congress and Senate, they mostly go by party lines. And when
As we
they,
know what's going on right now, right?
yes. And when they recess, they go back to their states. They don't get to talk to each other.
So they leave or they're out of session, they're gone.
Yes, they go
They're back
California, Massachusetts, New
all over
York,
the country.
Texas. But with us, when we recess, we still can call each other, have coffee or lunch with each other, and talk about some of the bills that we would like to push forward.
So you have no problem. You mentioned the word compromise. You mentioned the word what's good. You made the statement what's good for the communities, and now yours is Saugus, Lynn, and parts of Lynn and parts of Wakefield. So do you often speak to those on the that may not be of the same affiliation as you?
Yes, you know, like we might start the day at 11 o'clock in
Yep.
the morning with session, and then we take a break,
Yep.
recess, and I might talk to some of the. I, I'm a Republican,
Right.
so I might talk to the other Democrats and say, you know what? Why don't we go across the street to Capitol Coffee House?
And that's been there forever.
Yes, and let's talk. Let's hash it out. What don't you see right and what you see right? Let's compromise. And I've been doing that with a lot of people in my party and outside my party.
That's so, and you think that's awesome, and that's what it should be, right? So you think that's more prevalent on the local level
Yes.
than it is on the federal level.
Yes.
I see you, and like I said, you're all over social media. You're all over those districts that you represent. But I also see you like, going to places and volunteering. I see that you recently did a charity event with Tai Chi at Breakheart Reservation in Saugus. I know you do a lot of fundraising and benefits for those that may be less fortunate than us, right? So, again, what drives Donald Wong to do that? Because not every representative or senator or politician does that.
I think it's mostly what I learned from my mother and father. And I'm fortunate enough that I can do it. Not everyone can do
And what do you mean by that?
it. By how you're brought up or what you have in the bank. I use a lot of my own money for a lot of the charities. Um,
Really?
yes, but I believe in the charities. You know, um, we do one in Wakefield every year for ALS, and
In Wakefield?
yes,
And what?
around the lake we do the walk.
Oh, the walk.
Yes,
Okay.
and other charities, and I see that it's when I do the ALS, I see the same people, and sometimes when you see them not here, you know that a tragedy has
They're
happened.
gone, right?
So we gotta do as much as we can while they're here.
So let me ask you this. That takes a lot of time. You're in the state house. Do you go to the state house every day or mostly every day?
Monday through Friday.
You're there every day.
Yes.
And I know firsthand that you're there when it's snowing, or it's raining, it's a hurricane or whatever, because I always see you, on various platforms. You're there.
Yes.
So this is a full time position.
Yes. And
If you want to do it the way you do it,
yes. And
I know that other representatives and senators may have or may have to, because I'm sure that the pay is not so grandiose, but I'm sure other people may have to get another job or have another job or what have you. But you cannot be doing what you're doing and working
uh, and I'm fortunate again because I have my brothers and sisters.
at
I
that.
worked at the restaurant, and they do uh, the workload of the restaurant
You're
now.
a very humble man. And I know that for a fact. You're a very humble man because you're right. You may have the means, whether it be financially or whatever, and resources with family, but for you to really, and that's why I asked you what drives Donald Wong, for you to really want to represent your constituents, for you, and you want to help people in general, volunteering, charity work. I just saw that you were at a local coffee shop in Wakefield. I believe it was called Inspire,
Yes,
right?
Inspire Cafe.
In what that's a unique restaurant, cafe, right?
Yes, it's
What,
it's run really sponsored by the Boys Club.
the Boys and Girls Club?
Yes, and they hire children that are not as fortunate as other children,
Okay.
and it
And
gives them a way of earning money and finding a job.
right, because not everybody has been dealt the same deck of cards
Yes,
as other people may have. But I do often see posts of you doing that, and I commend you and thank you for doing that. So, wow, that's a lot to digest. So you've got 2010 or 11 you mentioned, so you must have next year, if you decide to run, I don't know, you're going to run, right?
yes, I will be running
You'll be running next year. How long do you think, if successful, you'll be as a state rep?
as long as I can get things done. This is going to be my 15th year this year,
It's a long time.
and you know, I got a great network over there in the state house, and I don't look at people on what party you belong to,
Yeah, you said that and you made that very clear.
and they're all my friends, and I make friends with even the rangers there.
The park
Who
rangers,
park
or the rangers
rangers
that, yeah, that
that
are
that work there, because and the state troopers are there, and I always tell them what a great job they're doing. One
we
ranger.
need them. We need all of them.
Yes, we need everyone.
We need everyone.
Everyone has a certain job. And when you tell them or thank them for doing their job,
They appreciate it, right?
they appreciate
Makes
it.
them feel good.
Yes, it might
Someone's
be.
recognized them.
Yes,
I always see, when I see someone in the military, a veteran, a police officer, first responder, I always thank them for their service because, like you said, that's going above and beyond what people can do. And I had, on a prior show, I talked about like, yeah, 90% of it is showing up. I get it. But there's a call of duty of people that are going off to fight for our country, of people rushing to an emergency medical situation, or, you know, those that are willing for public service. I was in, the state system for 32 years in probation, trying to help people, like I said, that maybe weren't dealt the same type of cards that I were. So what you're saying really resonates with me, and people say, oh, you went to this school and you have this degree. What are you doing making that amount of money and whatever? And what like you're saying is I got so much satisfaction when I saw someone, whether there was an addiction problem or a mental health problem or other issue going on, and I was able to follow these individuals for sometimes 2, 3, and 4 years while on probation, and you saw how their life changed for the better, and they became, the goal I always said as a probation officer, I want to allow people the opportunity to be productive citizens in the community. Because let's face it, you can throw people in jail, and we could have that conversation and would go on and on. There's some people that deserve and should be incarcerated, are dangerous to the public or themselves and other reasons. But there's also other people that really, like you said, weren't as fortunate perhaps as us, weren't dealt the same cards as us and others, and need help and support. And the satisfaction that I got watching these people graduate from whether it be drug court or graduate from a different program that we had brought me so much. And the martial arts to me, like equating the martial arts to business or real life, is the same thing because we take the qualities of martial arts training and development and the journey. You and I always talk about it. We're always beginners, we're always learning. I say to my students all the time, I'm a white belt. I learn all the time, and I know you do the same. Is the principles and concepts, strategies, life lessons we learn in the arts does really equate to exactly the same things that we're talking about today, whether it be the tenacity that you learn from your family in the restaurant business, whether you having the confidence and the ability to, at 20 years old, to travel to another country and remain there for 3 years, whether that's you running for local office and then on the state level. That's the tenacity and the passion and the drive and the grit that we talk about in class all the time. It doesn't matter where you get it. You
Yes.
attribute it a lot to your family, and I know your martial arts training you attribute it to, but it could be something else, right? People can be successful in business and in life, but those principles, concepts, values are very similar. So I think you said you run as long as
I can get things done.
get things done. What does that mean?
Um, the network I have right now, if my community or the Commonwealth needs something, I could sit down and talk with other members and even go to the speaker and ask, can we do this or that? And I think since I'm a politician, but I made friends with them.
Yeah, and oftentimes, don't you agree, when we say the word politician, it takes on a negative
Yes.
connotation, right? We're people, right? We're people that have decided to have their life or a part of their life in public service because at the end of the day, you're helping people,
Yes.
right? You're passing things. What are some of things just in general as a state rep or a local, whether you were a selectman chair or a town meeting, what are some of the things that you've I like to ask you this because you never brag about yourself. You're very humble, but got accomplished in the last 20 plus years of public service.
One of the things that I'm proud of, the first year I got voted in as a state rep, 2011,
Yep.
I went up to the speaker and he said, "What do you need?" And I said, "You know, every winter on Route 1, some of the water mains break and we have to close down Route 1."
That's a nightmare.
Yes. And I went to him and I said, "Honestly, if you could help me with that, I would appreciate it." Next thing I know, that year, he he moved all the water pipes from the passing lane to the breakdown lane.
Are we going north or south?
Both
Both
north and
sides.
yes. So, that costs a lot of money, but you know what? Because we had a good rapport.
Your relationship with the speaker
Yes.
and not the same political, you're a Republican,
No,
the speaker was a Democrat.
he's a Democrat, and that was Bob DeLeo.
Okay.
And I had to give him, and we worked together on different votes. And one thing I was honest with him is I said, I can't agree on everything that you're going to bring to the floor, but if I can't vote on it, I'll let you know ahead of time so you can count your votes. And he appreciated it.
So that's mutual respect, right?
Yes.
So, like we said, and I mentioned about checks and balances, that's why we have, the different branches of government. That's why we have different party affiliations. We don't always have to agree. You said the magic word, but there's always, we always have to compromise to get things for the bigger picture
Yes.
done. And it sounds like, not sounds like, it is like you network, you become friendly with, you respect everyone. And I know you do because I've known you for quite some time. And you're a very humble, kind human being. But it sounds like that networking and, you really believe to forge those relationships will help, right? For many reasons, not only on a personal level, but on a level to help your constituents.
And another thing that happened at the State House, Wig, every session has to have a Republican and a Democrat to represent.
What do you mean? Explain that.
In the session, you have to have at least one Republican and one Democrat when you have session.
Like a formal session?
Yes.
Okay.
And informal session.
And informal. Okay.
Yes.
Both sides.
Or else you can't have the meeting.
Okay. And does it have to be a certain number? Like for a
For
quorum or something?
formal, usually they want all 160 reps there.
Wow.
Informal, they only need one Republican, one Democrat.
What typical, like, what separates informal? Like, what is the
Oh,
informal versus the formal?
okay. Informal is usually local bills. Like if we had something for Saugus
Yep.
and it wouldn't affect anyone else, that's when they would have it.
So if say a local bill that something that you introduced
Yes, or anyone
or anyone
introduced.
introduced, but affected just your jurisdiction,
Yes,
you would need yourself as the Republican and you'd need a Democrat.
yes.
How did you get the Democrat? Do you ask or
No, no, no.
no?
The Speaker of the House assign a Democrat, and same thing with the Republican. The Minority Leader, Brad Jones, would appoint someone to.
Ah, okay. All right. And then what now? So informal is when it affects just a specific
Yes,
area. Formal session,
is where it affects the Commonwealth.
Commonwealth of Massachusetts
Yes,
as a whole.
yes.
Got it. So you started, and I interrupted just so I could get clarification. Is something that you were proud of?
Yes, because what I usually do is I would call, there's 25 of us as Republicans. So they divide the sessions so we all have a couple of weeks. And I would call if it's, let's say it's your week to cover.
Oh, like you're on call,
Yes, we're going to have session. We have session every 72 hours year round.
mandated by
Yes,
the state constitution or
yes,
bylaws or whatever.
yes.
Okay.
So I would, and we have a list of everyone who is supposed to cover at certain weeks. I would call the person that covers, like, if you covered this week, I would call you. I said, I'm going to be at the State House. Would you like me to cover for you? And by doing that, that's how you're building your
You
network.
you build your network, you build your rapport, and I honestly can attest to this. You do it out of the kindness of your heart, and like I said, the bigger picture to help your constituents. I get it, we have to, but n- not nearly enough people, whether it be in state government, federal government, private industry, whatever, human beings do not do that as much. And I
Yes.
know you're a huge advocate to help people.
Yes. And, I'm very fortunate that I have a wife that's understanding and the kids that
You
understand.
are out a lot, huh?
Yes.
I mean, everywhere. Oh, Representative Wong.
But
So the water issue was huge.
yes.
What other things you think, not, what other things either on the local or state level did you or are you proud
Okay.
that you had an impact on? Maybe you didn't do the whole thing, but you were part of.
Just last years and a couple of years before that, we got Route 1 paved from Boston all the way up.
I remember that.
It takes some time, but
From Boston, like
yeah, Route 1 Boston all the way up
all the way up to where?
New Hampshire.
All the way through up to New Hampshire?
Yes.
Both
And
sides? No, one side, north.
both sides.
Both sides.
Yes. And, and that is, again, networking. You know, other people, other reps and senators that had part of Route 1, we all joined together and asked for it to be done.
Yeah, because I mean, Route 1
Yes.
from Boston to New Hampshire is not just Representative Wong,
Yes.
right? That takes a village. That
Yes.
takes
That's the
multiple
state.
people.
The
That takes the
state.
state, right? To do that, because that costs, I'm sure, a pretty penny, right?
Yes.
That's
And
amazing.
the other thing I'm happy to say is I got the fence for the high school that's right on the highway.
Saugus High School? What
Yes.
do you mean the fence? I
We
know what the fence is,
yeah,
but what do you mean?
we have a fence that at first I went and Sal DiMazzi was uh the speaker at the time.
Okay.
And he represent the North End in
Uh-huh.
Chinatown, and I helped him with a couple of things. And I asked him if we could get it, and then we went to the DOT at the time,
Is this the new high school or
the new high
the
school.
new high school in Saugus?
Yes, right on the highway. And we went to the DOT, Department of Transportation, and they said, if you want a sound barrier, it's going to take you. You're going to have to get on the list. So, in changing a few words, we got it right away. But,
Sound barrier or
but
fence or both? What is it?
well, the DOT was saying it was a sound barrier for the high school.
Those are those big wooded things, aren't they? Like on
Yes.
128? But that's not.
No, we had a regular fence. I think it's probably fiberglass or plastic. And I said, it's not a sound barrier. It's a safety barrier.
So you wanted it for safety because the high school is very close to the highway,
Yes, it's right next to the highway.
right? That's right across from the Square One Mall there. So, right?
Yes.
You would have to have a fence,
Yeah.
right?
And
There's sports going on there. There's all
yeah,
kinds
the
of
baseball
activity.
field,
There's people
everything.
gonna,
Yes.
that would be a nightmare waiting to happen.
So by just rephrasing instead of saying sound barrier, say it's a safety barrier for the
Yeah,
kids.
so it was a matter of wording, right?
Yes. And that's what you have to do sometime when you're going for something.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to what you were talking about as far as compromising goes,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, all right. So we got the paving, we've got the water, we've got the high school, and I'm sure there's loads and loads of other things that you've accomplished and are going to accomplish, n- no matter how long you decide to consider to be in state government. If Do you have any other hobbies or interests, or is it mainly? I know you teach martial arts. I know you also do something and you belong to different groups in
Yes.
Chinatown or whatever. What else do you do?
Um, one thing I'm proud to be is a third generation Shriner.
Oh,
Yes,
congratulations.
my grandfather started it. And yeah, started in our family. Then my father, and then I. As a child, I said, "I one day I gotta get one of those hats."
The hats.
Yes,
That's what one of the hats you showed me today, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What
Fez.
yeah,
That's what.
FEZ, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what the shrine is. What's their goal? What's their mission? What do they do?
The main mission that they have is the burn centers.
Shriners Burn Center in
Yes,
Boston, right?
yes, and they do.
World recognized.
Yes, and and they don't charge. You know,
They, oh,
it's
the
depending what how it is and everything else. So I've been with them for quite a few years. The second thing I belong is the 100 Club.
the
I'm a
which
s-
club?
the 100 Club.
And what's that?
Um, I'm a second generation, and the 100 Club was started by Norman Knight, who has since um, passed away.
Uh-huh.
But any law enforcement or firefighter who dies in the line of duty, we pay for the funerals and
Really?
we give them scholarships and we try to bring the spouses together
How did
because
you get involved with that?
um, it was again back in the 70s. A friend that I grew up in Chinatown, Asian, and he was a firefighter, and he died, and the wife got a big check, and she said, "I don't know what to do with it." I look at it, and it was a good sized check,
Yeah.
and she said, "I don't know if it's a scam or am I going to have to pay interest? Is it a loan?"
Taxes,
Yes.
something. Yeah.
So I went and did the research, and I talked to Norman Knight, and he said, "Tell her to cash it and pay the funeral."
And he was what? What was his
He was the chairman of the
he was the
100 Club.
he was the chairman.
Yes.
Did he start it?
For I think he started in Massachusetts. There's 100 clubs in different states.
Really?
Yes.
Do any of
Connecticut.
them still exist today?
Yes, Connecticut has a strong one too.
Really?
So
So you have the Shriners, the 100 Club, and you also, I know, are involved in other.
yes, I work with the Wang YMCA board.
Tell us about what's that?
That's of course a YMCA in Chinatown.
Was that the old Don Bosco High School?
Yeah,
No.
we took over the old Don Bosco High School. First, it was called the South Cove YMCA,
Okay. Yeah, yeah. No, I know exactly where. Yeah, yeah.
and then when Don Bosco closed down,
Yeah.
um, we were going to put a bid for the classrooms, and I think it's Days In that took over the no, they took over the classroom. We took over the gym where the swimming pool is and everything.
So it's still in existence today,
Yeah, is
still
where
up,
the Don Bosco is.
and it's
And
called the Wang YMCA.
yes,
And it services, like you said, kids in Chinatown and surrounding areas.
yes.
And what do they do? Like athletic events, or
Yep. They have a basketball court. They do leagues and everything
I think
else.
I saw. Tell me if I'm mistaken. Wasn't there? I think there was a bit an event there where you gave out gifts to the kids or something. Was that the same place, or am I getting
Yes.
confused?
December 13th, this coming year, we sponsor a Christmas party.
So this was last year. I saw that.
Yes, but this year will be December 13th.
Okay.
And we do close to 1,000 kids where everyone gets a gift and everyone has something to eat.
Food and gift.
Yes.
And how do you raise those funds? And who does the cooking? And who does the buying?
It's a community thing.
Again.
Again. And what we do is we don't pick the kids that come. We give tickets to surrounding schools and tell the teachers to say,
Academic schools?
yes, and tell the teachers they know better than we what child is not going to have a great Christmas by what they wear and everything else.
Those that are in need, less
Yes.
fortunate. Haven't been dealt the same cards.
Yes,
So December 13th will be this year, and you said 1,000 kids,
close to 1,000 kids, and they get a ticket where they and their family can come.
and they get a meal.
They get a meal, they get a gift, and
I'd like to go over and visit that. Uh,
yes,
I remember the old Don Bosco. I
I'll
went to,
invite you. I'll take
yeah,
you down.
I would. I went to Malden Catholic, so we were
Mhm.
and played hockey. So we
Yes,
always played hockey and rivals against Don Bosco. And I was very saddened when that school
yes,
closed. But look at what it's doing now for the community. It sounds like it's thriving. And
yes,
you're on the board there, or
yes.
you are?
It's much needed.
Absolutely. Wow. All right. So as we near end of the show, I want you to think about a couple. If you could name three qualities, and again, I know you mentioned your parents, and you absolutely right. So three qualities that your parents and or martial arts training and or life experience, whatever it is, has had the most profound effect on who you are today. What would those three qualities be?
Um, my mother, I think I it's got a lot of traits from her
Yep,
of helping people because she always helped everyone, even people in the restaurant.
helping.
Yes, if they needed, let's say, a car, she would help them with the down payment.
Wow.
I know, excuse me, one family that was buying a house, she helped them with the down payment.
Oh,
And that's from my mother. Yeah, the other one,
so helping those less fortunate
yes, and the other one is the Grand Master Lemsan, who was the monk at the time
in New York.
in New York. Um, and I was young. I was active in the fighting and everything else.
Yeah, you
Eh,
were, I heard, quite a fighter in your day. We'll have to talk about that in what happened in Taiwan,
yes,
but another time. Okay.
and he told me is you can fight, but whatever you do to hurt someone, you have to learn to heal them.
Yin yang, right? If God
Yes.
forbid you have to defend yourself, you need to be able to heal.
So that's when I started moving into working with chi and healing people.
And you are quite a chi expert. For those of people that don't know about chi, the energy that Sifu Wong can channel uh, in positive ways. I mean, but also if you needed it on the offensive, you do it that way. But you, every time I've seen you, you've done it to help people. Okay, so helping people, um,
Health wise.
health.
And,
One more. What would you say?
I, everyone around me because I'm learning
Know
just
everyone?
know people and learn from them.
Yes.
Like you,
Yes.
you become like a brother to me.
No, thank you. I feel the same way
And
about you.
there's a lot of good people out there that has helped me along the way. And I, in return, want to return it to other people.
Yeah, I think sometimes those are three great qualities, and like I said, I'd call them black belt qualities. Whether they came from your mom, your dad, your grandparents, life experience, or martial arts teachers, those are black belt qualities. And what what has really taught me about you in the show today about you is that core characteristic of helping those less fortunate by recognizing everyone, no matter who they are, what station they are in life, always going out to volunteer, always going out to raise money. You're present. You're always there. You're in the moment. You're not, while you might have to run, from, on a particular day to 10 different events. When you're at that event, I can attest you're there. You're present, you're there, you're focused. And you are an amazing human being and friend. And I wanted to thank you so much. It's an honor to have you on the show. And I look forward to having you back so we can dive into a little bit more of Donald Wong, the representative, the martial artist, and most importantly, the human being. Thank you, Donald. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.